Nobody saw this coming. It was the middle of the show. A championship address that felt predictable, almost mundane. The champion was in the ring, hitting her usual catchphrases, talking about her dominance. When a microphone crackled, a high-pitched squeal of feedback. The champion paused, annoyed. And then, the arena plunged into total darkness. Not a flicker, but a void. The crowd held its collective breath. You could hear a single "oh my god" from someone near a ringside mic. A beat of silence. 2 beats. And then, that music. That iconic, unmistakable synth riff. In one instant, the entire arena exploded. It wasn't a cheer. It was a detonation of sound, a release of months of speculation, rumor, and silence. The boss is back! Before she even appeared, the mere sound of her return had shut the whole place down. Fans were screaming, holding their heads, grabbing their neighbors. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not now. Not like this. After all the cryptic posts, all the silence, she just walked straight back into the lion's den. And as her silhouette appeared on the ramp, bathed in blue light, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a return. It was a hostile takeover! She stands there for a moment, just letting it sink in. The sound is deafening. A wall of welcome back. Chants that shakes the foundations of the building. She's wearing a tailored suit, not ring gear. Her hair is a vibrant, defiant color. She looks different. She looks powerful, not as a character, but as a person. The camera zooms in on her face, and she's not smiling. She's not playing to the crowd. She's observing a calculated, cold observation. She has the entire multi-million-dollar production, the champion in the ring, and every fan in the world in the palm of her hand. And then she walks. It's not the boss strut, we remember. It's a deliberate, measured, confident stride. It's the walk of someone who doesn't need to ask for the spotlight because she is the spotlight. The champion in the ring, who just moments ago held all the power, has visibly shrunk. She looks confused, then angry, then ... afraid. Sasha doesn't even look at her. She walks past the ring, past the commentary table, and stands on the announce desk. She grabs a headset, silencing the commentators. She holds a microphone. The arena goes quiet again. She is the conductor, and this is her symphony. The digital world ignited. It wasn't just on fire. It was a supernova. In the seconds it took for her to walk from the curtain to the ring, her name became the #1 trend worldwide, faster than any algorithm could have predicted. Social media wasn't just buzzing, it was broken. Phones in the arena were held high, not just to record, but as a desperate attempt to prove that what they were seeing was real. Every wrestling journalist, every sports media outlet, every blog, their entire planned content for the week was instantly obsolete. It was all deleted. There was only one story. This was more than a return. It was a cultural event. The why was on everyone's lips. Why now? Why this champion? Why this way? The silence she had maintained for months wasn't just a negotiation tactic. It was the most brilliant marketing move of the decade. She had made her absence the single most valuable commodity in the entire industry. And by returning without a single warning, she hadn't just made a splash, she had drained the entire pool, and all eyes were on her, standing alone in the deep end. The game had officially and irreversibly changed. Imagine the scene in the gorilla position, just behind the curtain. The producers, the writers, the absolute chaos. This wasn't in the script. Or if it was the best kept secret in modern history. We see a wide shot of the backstage area, and superstars who were preparing for their own Macus are glued to the monitors. Their faces tell the whole story. It's not excitement. It's shock. For some, it's opportunity. For most, ... it's a problem. The entire women's division, which had finally found its rhythm, was just put on notice. The pecking order! The planned feuds? The championship picture for the next 6 months? All of it. Gone. Thrown into a wood chipper. The champion, still standing in the ring, is now an afterthought. Every woman in that locker room just fell one spot down the ladder. This is the Sasha effect. She doesn't just join the division. She becomes the division. The quiet, simmering resentment is palpable. The welcome back chants from the crowd are not being echoed backstage. Back there! It's the sound of whispered, frantic questions and the dawning, cold realization that their world just got infinitely harder. She stands on that announce table, a sea of screaming faces in front of her, the panicked champion behind her. The microphone is live. The world is listening. This is the moment. The explanation. The why. She's going to talk about her journey, her frustrations, her demands. She's going to call out the champion, or the company, or the fans. She lifts the mic, and she waits. She lets the silence stretch, lets the tension build until it's almost unbearable. The champion, emboldened by the pause, finally shouts from the ring, "What are you doing here, Sasha? You don't work here!" Sasha slowly turns her head. She doesn't look at the champion. She looks through her. She lowers the microphone just slightly, and with a voice that is cold, clear, and dripping with contempt, she says one word. "Wrong! That's it!" She drops the mic, it thuds on the table, and then she unbuttons her suit jacket. The crowd explodes again, realizing what's happening. She's not here to talk. She's here to fight. She slides into the ring, and the champion, realizing her mistake, tries to lunge. It's a disaster. Sasha ducks, and in one fluid, terrifyingly fast motion, she locks in the bank statement. The champion is tapping. She's tapping frantically. This isn't a competitive match. It's an execution. But Sasha doesn't let go. The referee is screaming at her. Officials are running from the back, sliding into the ring, trying to pry her fingers apart. She holds on, her face a mask of serene, terrifying focus. She's not just applying a hold. She's sending a message. This message isn't for the fans. It's not even for the champion. It's for the company. It's for everyone in the back who thought she was gone, who thought the show could move on without her. She's showing them, and the world, that she is in complete control. She decides when the hold is broken. She decides when the segment ends. Finally, after an eternity, she releases it, pushing the champion's unconscious form away like trash. She stands up, her suit not even wrinkled. She picks up the championship belt. She looks at it. She doesn't hoist it in the air. She doesn't kiss it. She just... looks at it, almost with disappointment. And then she drops it, letting it clatter to the mat beside its owner. She's not back for the title. She's back for the whole kingdom! The next day, the entire corporate structure is in a quiet panic. The media calls are relentless. What is her contract status? Was that sanctioned? What does this mean for the champion? But the company says nothing. They just post the clip. And it does numbers they haven't seen in years. In one night, Sasha Banks has become the single most powerful person in the promotion. And she did it without negotiating. She simply showed up and took the power. The champion, who was the face of the brand, is now a footnote in Sasha's story. She's humiliated, exposed, and, worst of all, irrelevant. What does she do now? How does she recover from being so thoroughly dismantled, not just physically, but psychologically? The answer is, she can't. Sasha didn't just beat the champion, she erased her. She exposed her as a temporary placeholder, a pretender to a throne that was never truly hers. The entire locker room dynamic is poisoned. Do the other superstars rally behind their fallen champion? Or do they step over her, trying to be the next one to get the Sasha rub? The answer is obvious. It's every woman for herself. But what about her legacy? This is the woman who, along with her peers, built this division. She was a revolutionary. She was a cornerstone. But this return, it feels different. It's not about building. It's about burning. The woman who returned in that suit with that cold stare isn't the boss we remember. That boss was arrogant, yes, but with a fire and a passion. This is something else. This is a person who has been on the outside, who has looked in and realized that the revolution she started is not what she intended. She's not back to make history. She's back to correct it. She sees the division she built and believes it has become soft, complacent, and unworthy of the foundation she laid. This isn't a comeback for the fans. This is a comeback for her. It's a personal, almost bitter quest to reclaim the standard she set. The welcome back chants are nice, but she doesn't need them. She's not here for acknowledgement. She's here for vindication, and that makes her infinitely more dangerous than she ever was before. She's not fighting for a spot. She's fighting for her entire body of work. 4 weeks. This is the new reality. Sasha is a shark, circling. She appears when she wants. She attacks who she wants, and she leaves. The champion is terrified. The roster is in disarray. Management is scrambling. We all think we know how this ends. At the next big event, Sasha finally takes the championship, standing tall. Her dominance That is the obvious story. But we are all missing the real target. We are watching her hands, but we aren't watching her eyes. She's not looking at the champion. She's not looking at the other women. In her rare, cryptic promos, she keeps using one word: power. She talks about the puppets and the puppet master. We all assume she's talking about the company's management, the family in charge. We assume this is a storyline about her versus the authority, but we are wrong. The champion she attacked, the roster she's terrorizing. It's all a distraction. It's all smoke. The real fire, the real target, is someone none of us, not even the company, ever saw coming. She's not after a title. She's after the throne. The final scene. The show is ending. The general manager is in the ring, flanked by security, officially signing the undisputed champion to a new contract. He's smiling, the picture of corporate power. And Sasha's music hits, but she doesn't come from the ramp. She comes from the crowd. She slides into the ring, and the security guards move to stop her. She just looks at the general manager, and she smiles. "You think you're in charge?" she asks. He laughs. "I am Sasha. I'm the one who signs the checks." "You're right," she says. "But I'm the one who makes them worth signing." And in that moment, the champion, the one who was just humiliated by Sasha, tackles the general manager. The arena goes silent. The champion stands up and stands beside Sasha. And then, one by one, other women from the locker room, the ones who were supposed to be her rivals, walk down the ramp and surround the ring. It was never about her return. It was about their revolution. The champion wasn't her target. She was her first recruit. Sasha didn't come back to take over the division. She came back to lead it. Against the very machine that created her. She's not the boss. She's the real boss.